operation. And in their baseline assessment, they wrote that it would be politically infeasible for BNP to win the next election organically. That is, they simply didn't have the votes. They lost too badly in this previous election. So they needed instead a strategy to, quote, destabilize Bangladesh politics and to overthrow it in a color revolution through street protests combined with poaching members of the Bangladeshi military to coup the prime minister out of office. But there's a cute trick here that they pulled, which is, so they, in this baseline assessment, they surveyed all the different groups within Bangladesh who hated the government that was just elected. And what they settled on were two racial minority groups in Bangladesh, the LGBTQ community and student groups at Bangladeshi universities who primarily listened to music like hip hop and rap. And so what the IRI, the CIA cutout, then proceeded to do over the next 6 years was build up a network of 270 assets across the LGBT community, across the Bangladeshi rap and hip hop community, and across the community leaders of these two racial ethnic groups in order to drive up anti-government dissatisfaction and get them to take to the streets in protests, hundreds of thousands of people strong, in mostly peaceful protests that included violence, arson, riots, and attacks on police, in order to throw Sheikh Hasina out of office, which they successfully did. They literally raided the presidential palace. She had to flee the country in a helicopter. She was replaced by a guy who was a former Clinton Global Initiative fellow, who Sheikh Hasina, the ousted prime minister, had tried to indict on corruption probes and was only stopped when then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton personally threatened to have the IRS audit her son, who was living in the U.S., if she proceeded with that. But I just want to read, just before we sign off on this, I want to read a few direct quotes from these leaked documents from the IRI about their involvement in the CIA running the rap game in Bangladesh. This is incredible. I'm now reading the direct grants that were given in 2020 and 2021. So here is a Bangladeshi hip-hop artist named Tawfiqi Ahmed. And here is what IRI writes to the State Department. Tawfiqi Ahmed released the first of two music videos under the IRI's Small Grants Program for his song Tui Perish, which means you can do it, which targets youth in Bangladesh with a message of perseverance in difficult times and encourages them in every possible way, including protests and street movements. The video was produced by IRI and released on YouTube and Facebook. Then they have a second entry, another grant, another U.S. taxpayer money distribution to rappers in Bangladesh to overthrow the government. Tawfiqi Ahmed released his second music video titled E-Day Ka'ar. The song's lyrics address a variety of social issues, including poverty and workers' rights. The song was designed to reveal social issues in Bangladesh and build up disappointment and dissent to government so as to call for social and political reforms. So the song was designed by the Central Intelligence Agency to build up disappointment and dissent with the government. They even include links to the music videos, which are pretty hilarious.
Holy conejito, they're really disappointing with all this investment.
Different hip-hop artists, putting them on